Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I'm going to talk about tracking wasted time. Actually, it's not necessarily going to, it doesn't have to be wasted time. It's any time you use an app. If you want to track the time you spend on that app, I'm going to show you how to do that by creating an automation. Now, see, here's an example. This morning, I started playing, I did a stupid puzzle, and I did it until 8:24, 8 a.m. to 8:24. So I spent 24 minutes on that dumb game. But now, Zoom Notes automatically added those reminders, but I added the arrow with the 24 above it so that I could quick see that's how much time I spent, and here's what it was, and whatever. This was the start, this was the stop. Now let me just show you how to do that. And again, it can be any app. Anytime you open an app, if you want it to show up here in Zoom Notes and never have to do anything, just open the app. I'm going to show you how to create that. Now, so I'm going to open up Instagram. There it is right there. So I've got it open now, and you don't see anything happening. You're just scrolling along and seeing what's in Instagram. And what you don't realize is that it has activated the reminder. All right. So now in order to stop it, I'm just going to pull up from the bottom to close it out like that. That stops that triggers the thing to say, okay, now it just stopped. And if I go back to Zoom Notes, see, there they are. Instagram. Now notice I told it to put just IG with a clock and the time. And then when I stopped it, I just put a stop sign. And I did that. I've started doing fewer letters in the text that it puts on my reminders, because if you get a bunch of them piled up, it ends up looking like this. Let me show you. See how well, that's not it. I had already started. But see, when you put too many words, things will start to truncate. And see, in the morning, I had told it to say, okay, I wasted time playing the puzzle. And I wasted time playing the puzzle a bunch on that morning. But by afternoon, I said, oh no, that's not working. So I then changed it to just the icon with the stopwatch. Now normally I have under the Z, if I go to edit events, I normally show the time first. I really like that better. But the problem with that is if you start having a bunch of things listed all piled up at about the same time, the last letters are going to truncate, or the last whatever's there is going to start dropping off. So eventually you have just the time there. So let me show you. If I go to the next page, I think I have some stuff. See down, no. I don't have enough in 1 hour to show that to prove my point. But you'll start losing what the text is and just see the time. And rather than have that, I've decided, well, I need to start doing it this way. Go to configure events and don't show the time first, so that if anything gets truncated, it'll be the time. I'll still have the ability to see it, but I'll have to, select it and click here and see the time. See, June at 5:46 is when I actually did it. Now that's not ideal, but you're not going to have that issue too terribly much unless you're in and out of a bunch of different apps that you've done this to. All right, so right now that's Instagram, and it started at 3:47 and it stopped at 3:47. All right. Now I'm going to show you how. I also have another one that I had set up for the actual games, because this is where I started. I created a menu rather than having separate automations for each and everything that I was going to do, I decided I'll make a menu and I can choose to tell it which one to run. And this is how it works. If I click up here, and I'm not going to show how to do this. If you want to know, I'll be happy to show you, but where is it at? What am I trying to do? I want to play one of these games. Let's play the puzzle. So I open that puzzle up, and you know, it always comes up with a commercial. Let me close that. A menu will pop up at the top. I think I've got too much going on. There it is. Okay, so all that menu does is gives me the opportunity to say which game I'm playing. All right. And then it will put the correct icon in Zoom Notes. Now I'm going to close it down. So now if I go to the Zoom Notes, again, see there, it happened faster that time. See my little icon, and there's my stop. So I started the puzzle at 3:53. And again, I'm not going to show how to do that unless you want me to. If you want me to, I'll just put it in the comments and I'll do a different video. But I feel like people are only going to want to do one. I don't know why, you know, each one individually and not bother with that menu. Mainly because if you decide to open up Instagram in the middle of a meeting, you don't want a menu popping up that you have to choose something from. You just want to start looking at Instagram or whatever app, you know, whatever app you're wanting to track while you're in that meeting. But you can do it more subtly this way. And two, if there's an app that you don't want your kids to play with on your iPad, something you don't want them looking at, you can set one of these up, and if they open it up, they won't realize that you're getting a thing on your planner that indicates that that app has been opened. They never know, but you know. Okay, so that's another way of using it. Let me show you how to do it. And honestly, I just, every time I do this, I learn something. Before, I thought that I had to create a shortcut, and then when I ran the automation, tell it what shortcut to use. That's not true. Right now, let's see, I've already got an Instagram. I want to do a Skillshare. So anytime I use the Skillshare app, I want it to do what I just showed you on the Facebook. Okay, I mean on Zoom Notes. All right, so I want to create a new automation. I click on Create Personal Automation. I scroll down till I see App. I click on that. And this says, when an app opens up, and you choose it. So I'm going to choose the app. And this time I'm going to do Skillshare. They're in alphabetical order, so it's way down here. Skillshare. There. All I'm doing is tapping on the bar to turn it on and off. Now I could go ahead and do 6 different apps right now. It's not limiting me to one. I could put more, but when I tell it what to show, you know, if I just said a generic, I opened an app, then I could have a bunch. But since I'm specifically saying Skillshare, then I don't want but just Skillshare. All right, so now the done is between choose app and search apps. I don't understand why they put it there, but because it blends in. I have a hard time seeing it, so I just click on done. Now I've told it Skillshare. When it's opened, I'm going to go to the next. Now I'm going to tell it what to do when that app is open. So I'm going to add an action, and I'm going to search. I'm going to tell it to add a reminder. So I'm looking for reminders. I need the code for it because I don't have that memorized. So I click on reminders. It popped that up. Click on that. And then down toward the middle, add new reminder. Clicked on that. That puts that inside that automation. I want to add Skillshare, and this is, right now, this is the words or what will appear on Zoom Notes in the reminder. So this is the thing that I like to keep as short as possible. And so Skillshare, and then I'm gonna put a little clock. I click on the little world down at the bottom, and my clock is, I use it a lot, so it's over to the left. It's the first one you see. And then you tell it which reminder list you want to put it on, and I want to put it under miscellaneous. And I do want it to put an alert, because an alert will tells it to put it on my calendar. All right, so when I clicked on the 2 o'clock to the right, it popped that menu down at the bottom. See current date, click on that. And that pops up a new pop-up, and see date format. I'm going to turn that to off. I don't want any date to show up. And then I do want the time to be short. All right. So I'm done. Go to the next. And now the next step, I'm just going to tell it to, see at the bottom it says ask before running. I'm going to turn that off. Toggle that off. I don't want it to ask. And do done. Now I have just said, as soon as I open up Skillshare, add a reminder. All right, so now I want it to also, when I close out Skillshare, I want it to do something. Now, if you notice when I did the Skillshare, if I open that up again and go to when, see, I could have done both. I could have selected both of these options, and it would have done it the same thing both times. But the little clock tells me that I started it, and I want the stop to tell me that it was, I shut it down. So this app, I don't want it to be both, so I'm going to close that back out. Cancel. Now, if you notice down toward the bottom, I've already got one that says when any of 6 apps are closed. I don't care which app is running. When it's closed, I want it to do something. So I can just add the Skillshare to this list of 6 apps that I already have created. See, it's going to run a shortcut that is already created. Now I need to add when. See, it's got 6 apps chosen. I'm going to choose the Skillshare. I'm going to add that. See, if I scroll slowly, you'll see checks over on the right. See, right now it's got Cooking Fever, and anything of those 6 that are already done have checks by them. So now I'm looking for Skillshare from my list of apps. QRS. Skillshare. Okay, I've already done it. Now, was I using Skillshare or Instagram? No, I'm doing Skillshare. Let's see if I've already got Instagram added to this. I've been bouncing back and forth. Been doing this video several times, and I keep changing which one I was going to show you guys. Instagram. It's already checked. So it's already going to do the stop because I added it here. Now I do done. See, run this shortcut. See, you can run an existing shortcut. I already have a reminder shortcut created that's going to do this step. That I see, run stop. Stop is one. If I go to the cancel, if I go to my shortcuts and look at what stop does, click on that. See, add the red stop sign to miscellaneous with the alert. All right, that's already been created. So I just need to add my Instagram. If I don't care that it's just the stop sign, then I can keep using that stop sign over and over again. I don't have to recreate it every time. I just have to add my app to that growing list. All right. So now I just did Skillshare. So if I go here and I run Skillshare, I can't ever find them fast here. So I just do Click on it. It's just opened up my Skillshare. And I know that even though I'm not seeing anything happening here, I know that it's going to add. See, I don't know if you can hear it, but that little chime that goes off is on my phone. So if my phone is not anywhere near, you're not going to hear any indication that it's happened. It's not going to make a noise on iPad. You can make it do that, but I don't want a sound, so that if I want to go to Skillshare in a meeting and watch a video, nobody has to know that but me, all right? So, all right, it's been long enough. I'm just going to close it out. And I'm going to go back to Zoom Notes and look and see what happens here. See, I did the puzzle. See, there's Skillshare, the SS with the clock, and the stop at 4:03. See, now, here's an example of the time that got truncated because I had two S's. It didn't have room to put it. So in order to see when I started, I would have to click on it and see I started it at 4:02 and closed it at 4:03. That's the nature of the beast. If I didn't want that, then I could get rid of the clock. See if I go here and take that clock off under the name and hit return. Let's see if that leaves room for the, yeah, see, that left room for the clock. I mean, for the time. So that might be, see, the puzzle when I started, it's the Instagram at 3:47, started, stopped at 3:47. Then I opened the puzzle at, I don't know what time, so I'd have to click on it. I started the puzzle at 3:53 and closed it at 3:53. So if I want to, I could get rid of the clock. Because really and truly, the puzzle piece is all I need. I know that puzzle means I started it, okay? So that's all I really need. But that allowed for that time to be seen. Now if I change it, let's see, if I change it so that the time is first, I should be okay. Let's see, configure events, set time to first. It's okay now, but if I do something else within this time frame, it gets to where it's kind of hard to tell what goes with what. But normally you're not going to be doing all that in and out of different apps, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's how it's done.